Apple and Google are fabulous at innovating. I think the real problem with Microsoft is they've had this huge base of Windows users in industry. They've come out with Windows 7, but the reality is that there's not a whole lot further they can go without coming up with new product. And the other thing I mentioned, one of their big money makers was Microsoft Office. That is now available from Oracle for free, $0, called Open Office, totally free. Yeah. And it will read any Microsoft Office format, whether it's a spreadsheet, whether it's a Word, rich text.
Just download it from Oracle?
From Oracle. Just type in Open Office, download, and it'll take you a couple of minutes or more, free. The whole of Office.
It'll overwrite everything else you've got in there?
No, it'll keep all your documents, and if you
no, I mean, you have Office already.
No, you keep your Microsoft Office, and this package is up to date and free.
Why do they do it?
Say again, why do I?
Why do they do it?
It was a development of sort of what's called the Free Public License, GPL, whatever it was called, and there was a huge subculture of people developing it who didn't like Microsoft, and then Oracle decided to take it over and to make it available, and they would use some of their development staff to essentially try and get that huge business environment.
You have approximately the same thing with Google Docs.
Right, exactly. Google Docs is in the same ballpark, and that's part of Google's view, is to take all the information of the world and make it available through their systems. So I think Microsoft has problems. They don't have the innovation that either Google or Apple have.
The problem with Microsoft is that they started to do their original first product was really based on on BASIC. And they really never got away from BASIC. And they have to, and it's a and they keep adding things to improve the Word and the Excel and everything, but it's still based on BASIC, which is a very slow system. One of the reasons that Apple is working so well is because they have a different system. That's why your machine goes on instantly when you put it on, and that's why it was always a faster and a better system. But the Microsoft went ahead and won because Jobs got sick and retired, and because they wouldn't let other people have their basic system, so that other people could write programs for that system, and Apple fell behind. But it's it's like 100 to 1 from as far as the working of it and the speed of it that you can achieve and the improvement you can make, because it's not depending on a slow system that you have to go run all the way over there to get a data before you can use it here. I mean, Apple has the data all, very easy to reach and all that anyway.
Okay, let's find out.
You're voting for Mac.
What is the right one, the best one?
I had an Apple
Is
way
that
back.
the best one to buy, or is?
Should get a new one.
You have a lot of wisdom in these areas.
Well, I started out with Apple, and then when I joined the government with the OECD, I had to go to Windows. It was painful. Windows did improve, and then I waited for Apple to choose the Intel chip, because the Intel chip allowed interoperability of the two systems. So initially, when I moved back to Apple, I had the two systems. I had Windows XP and the Mac 10 operating system. And now, I never use Windows XP anymore. I'm 100% for Apple, because one of the nice things about Apple is how everything fits together. Everything fits together. I have 5 devices, 2 iPhones, an iPad, a MacBook, and a desktop. And they play together like it's like chorus.
That's simple.
It's a big happy family.
One is a flute, the other one is a clarinet.
Gerald ran the store.
We're like the nymphs in the forest.
Yeah. Well, one last thing is, my wife doesn't use a computer at all, but her very best friend has just retired and said, I did have a computer at my desk at the hospital, I'd love to have one. And there's a real dichotomy for somebody who doesn't have a big income, is what should they buy? Nowadays you can go across the street to either Best Buy, Future Shop or Bureau and Grove. For $400 you can get a fabulously capable Windows system. Try and price the same type of Apple system you're talking at least $1,000, if not $1,200, for a comparable screen and what have
It's not a
you.
computer, but an iPad's $500.
What have you got there?
Yeah,
iPad.
but what happens if you want a real
That's
keyboard
not,
that you want?
That's
Well,
good.
the real keyboard, by the way, you have a Bluetooth keyboard from Apple, and it works on the iPad.
You got a good keyboard, you can do, that's why I talked
I
to
use the
Richard.
keyboard in there.